Hey everyone. Okay, we're going to start out today by doing spiders. Now, some of you know how to do them already, maybe all of you do. I hope you do. But we're going to get a really good bow hold. I think I'll switch so I can mirror you. Okay, remember your bow hold. So pinky's right up on top. These two are over just a little bit. This finger's just kind of lookout guy. He's kind of like looking out over. It's not like this wrapped around. If your finger's wrapped around like this, he's hanging on too much and it puts too much strain on your wrist right here and it can start to hurt after a while. Okay, so make sure your hand's loose, shake it out. Okay, do your little, like tap your fingers like this. You make your little bunny. Okay, and then it's gonna go on your bow. So it's like he's going to open his mouth and the thumb's going to go right here on it and fingers are going to go right here over it. They kind of go sideways up. Okay. And then finger goes right up here on top looking out and pinky is going to be tap, tap, tap right up on top. Okay. That is a great bow hold. Now if I turn it sideways, look what you see. Can you see that? That hole right there? So once you have your bow hold, get your two fingers and stick it down in there and see if you can turn it around. Make sure your hole is in there. Your thumb, okay, maybe it's like a doorbell, okay? I go ding dong. Okay, make sure your doorbell's out and not sucked in like this. If it's sucked in like this, look, there's no hole in there. A rabbit can't go down the hole. So we want to make a rabbit hole. Shink. Okay, so make him round like this so that you could push that ding dong out. And keep your pinky on top and this guy resting right there. Okay, once you have that, shake out my hand again. It gets a little tired when I'm moving my bow all over. Okay, now for spiders, we're going to crawl up the bow. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm just inching my way. So the rules are, remember, can't touch the bow hair with your hands. Please never do that. If you do, your rosin won't stick very well because your hands have some, even if you should wash your hands before you play, but even if you do, your fingers still have some oils on them. You know how you play your cell phones or a touch screen and afterward the screen gets kind of smudgy? Yeah, that's not from the screen, it's from your fingers. So we don't want that stuff on our bow because then the rosin won't stick and then we'll have some problems. So once you get all the way to the top, ding, now try to go down. Okay, double check. Still have my hole. Down is trickier, so pinky has to do some work. He's going to slide down, get a grip, and then these fingers are going to help thumb go scoot, and then they're all going to scoot down. Can you see that? It's like an inchworm. A little caterpillar. Just inching slowly down your bow. Okay. Do it with me. Make sure you have your bows in doing it. And if you need to, push pause if I finish before you and you can finish it, okay? Make sure you do spiders. And you'll get better and better at this. If you don't get it all the way up and all the way down at first, it's okay. Just try it again the next day. Try it 3 times every day though, okay? I want you to try it 3 times every day. Even if you only get halfway, just then start over and try again so you can get a little bit farther the next time. You'll find that your fingers will get stronger and stronger, and pretty soon you'll be able to get all the way to the bottom. And then if you want to someday, we can have spider races. And when we get back to the bottom, finish off with a good bow hold, double check. Got it, right? So we're not squished like this. Okay, make sure you're out. Very good. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is target practice. Okay, so get your instrument. And this one I'm going to have to switch this way because this is the way I play. But it might look backwards too. Okay, and make sure your instrument is up. And have your really good bow hold, right? Double check, make sure you have a circle in there. Okay, and so your top string, you're going to shoot that target. Okay, do it 5 times. Then switch to A. Or for that would be your D. Okay, and then switch to the next one over. Now look what my arm does. My arm level raises up. And my target. See how it goes like that? My target is like coming right out the bottom of my bow. And when I do my last string, you'll be able to see it better. See that? Instead of, right? We don't want to go sideways. Go straight in front of you. Because see how my bow needs to stay straight between the bridge and the fingerboard? And if I go this way, see how it just went crooked? It needs to stay straight. It can go straight if you shoot the target straight out. Okay? So each string 5 times. Okay. Now, open up to page 6 in your book. Okay? So just get it out and look at it, and then get your bow. You can set your instrument down. Make sure you set it in the case. Don't sit it on the couch where somebody's going to come sit on it or on the floor. Okay, always put it back in your case. I just put mine in my case. My cat might come sit in my case. She likes to do that. Go. But get your book and get your bow, okay? So turn to page 6, and on 6 we have, look at the top, what's it called? Whole notes. See, that's called whole notes. Now last time we did quarter notes and half notes, right? So let's see, what color should we use? Pink today? We'll use pink today. Okay, so we learned quarter notes. They're notes like this. Sorry, circle colored in with a line. And then we learned half notes, circle not colored in with a line, right? My cat's being weird. Okay, this one gets how many counts? 1. And this one gets how many counts? 2. That's so funny that I don't know if that looks backwards too. That one should look right because I just wrote it backwards. Okay, then we have on here, this one's called whole notes. So this one's called quarter. I'm going to spell quarter, Q-U-A-R-T-E-R. And this one's called half. So then we have whole. Whole notes are just a circle with no stick. Okay. And in the book, some kids are like, yeah, but it's kind of filled out on the sides a little and then it goes skinny. It doesn't matter. A whole note really is just a little oval. Okay. And how many counts does that one get? What do you think? Well, on your staff, remember we have your 5 lines. And we have your clef sign, whatever it is. And then right here, we have what we call your time signature. We learned that in class for those of you that were there that day. Your time signature is going to tell you, the top number is going to tell you how many counts are in each measure. And the measure is when we do notes and then we count to 4 and then we have a line. Once you count to this number, you draw a bar line and that's your measure. It's over. If I had a 6 right here, you'd have to make that equal 6 and then draw a line. If I have a 2 right here, you'd have to make it equal to 2. I've even seen some that say 12. 12 counts in a measure. Okay? But for now, we're going to do 4. Okay? So this note, whole note, gets 4. Why? Why is it called a whole note? Because it gets the whole measure. You can't see any if this one equals 4, and we have to count to 4, can we put any more notes in there? No. If we put a quarter note in there, what did we just make it equal? 4 plus 1. 5. Ah, that's wrong. Okay, so we can't have 5, we can only have 4. So, how do you do that on your bow? Let's put another note here. Done, because it's a whole note. And this one we're going to go up. Okay. So, if you have your bow, go ahead and get your bow. Pick up your bow. Get your good bow hold. We're just going to do an air bow. Do it in the air. Okay. And then we're going to look and see where that note is if you know it. I didn't write that as a note that you know yet, but you're gonna look, and so look on page 6, and your very first note is what? What's your first note on the first song on number 11? You see it's a D. Okay, so, and it has a down bow sign, that little ding, ding, ding thing. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you move your bow 4 instead of moving it back and forth. Okay, we don't go 1, 2, 3, 4. If we did that, it would be quarter notes because we switch our bow for each one. Half notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 counts. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so your first one, D, you're going to count 4. And then this one's going to be, if this one was down bow, then this one's going to be up. Okay, so then your next one's going to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is just representing my string, and I'm putting it on the back side of my bow so that my finger is not touching the bow hairs. Okay, so then you're going to get your instrument and do that, right? You're going to go whatever, what is the note? D, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what's the next note? You just had 2 D's. What's the next one after that on page 6? It switches. What does it switch to? A. So then you're going to switch to A and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it switches back to D. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that doesn't mean you can count that fast, because if you were counting that fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can count that fast. But look what happens when you get to number 14. Look at number 14 in your book. Can you go to song 14 down here? It's called 1 Long and 4 Shorts. What do you have in that one? Do you see that? You have a whole note. This is the viola book. This is a D. And then you have 4 quarter notes. How would you do that? Can you do that? What are your quarter notes on? Let's see, that's on D. Those are also on D. Okay, so you can stay on D. So for the whole notes right here, you can do it in the air if you want to first, or go ahead and get your violin if you're ready, or your viola if you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, all one bow. Now this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. Then this one we switch to A. Can you see it switches to A on the next one? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one measure, you have 4 quarter notes. Stays on A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you keep going and read if it switches. Now you're going to switch to D. Oh, and then look at the very end after you do that. You switch to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Okay. So what you do next for your practice record, then you have target practice, spiders. I'll write the rest in the comments. That's the stuff that we just did. And have fun doing that and get all caught up, because then, oh wait, I have one more thing to tell you. Because not only are we going to do that, if you can play the notes that these songs that we just learned, so you learned the whole notes now, then the next number 12, look what it mixes. Can you see what we mix? Half notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if it helps you, you can take your pencil and you can actually mark that if you want to write an up bow right there, so you remember to switch your bow. And then this one will be down, and every bow is different. Then this one is up, and then this one is down, and this one is up. You might not need to write it all the way across, but if you need to write it on some of them, then to remind you that the bow switches, you can do that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on A, and violins, look at your own, okay, because this is a viola book, so they're in a different spot. Then what? D. For the whole note, you switch to D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you switch again to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you switch back to D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So then see if you can play this one, because this would be a really fun duet one. So see how it says student and teacher? You're just going to do the student part and see if you can read this one. And then 1 long and 4 shorts, like I just showed you. And then this is 4 shorts and 1 long. So then we start with quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, whole note. Okay. Make sure you're counting. Okay. If you need somebody else to count for you, maybe you could ask your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister to come over and count for you, and just have them count slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and try and get that bow to go the right direction. Okay. Okay. These toe you don't need to do. The only thing that you need to know with this is there's rests. So this right here, it looks like a little hole on that second line. That's a whole rest. Are there any notes in this measure? The measure goes from this line to this line, this measure. There's no notes, it's just a rest. This one has 1 note. That's 4, all 4 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is a rest that has 4 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4 of nothing. Okay, so you got to be quiet for 4 counts. You can't just skip it just because you don't play it. Okay, because if you ever have a song like up here where you're playing with other people and you have a rest but they have notes, that just means you're quiet for a minute. Or maybe they have a rest while you have notes, so they have to be quiet while you play. Okay, so it's important that you know how to count rests. Very important when you know not to play. So don't play right here, just count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you play right here. Just here's a very important thing you can do in the rests. Make sure you're looking ahead. You can, right? You just played a down bow on a D, then you have nothing. Then what if I get to 4 and then I'm like, oh no, I gotta play. Oh wait, it's up bow. Oh wait, it's a D. Am I on the right spot? And then you've already missed 2 counts of the note. So while you're counting, look ahead and be ready so you know what's coming as soon as you get to 1. And then it's going to be up bow on D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Same thing with this one with A. Now this does not sound like Mary Had a Little Lamb, but it probably can be played while somebody's playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know what I mean? Okay, but that is that. So get your whole notes. And then for bonus, are you ready for bonus? I don't know if you want to do a bonus. If you want to do a bonus, you can do page 7, because all of page 7, there's nothing new on here. All it's doing is mixing up all the things that you've learned so far. So all your strings, and then quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, and then the rests. Okay? Okay, have fun.